Halito, halito, chimachukma, Aborigines. So, y'all are so upset. Why are you Native Americans so angry? Why is it that you guys in this group, I'm not saying all of them, but why are y'all so genocidal? Do you realize it's genocide to try and erase somebody's entire past? Especially for the ones that can't, the ones that don't know what their folks were doing. If you don't have a clue what county, what town your family was living in 1790, what they owned, what they grew, if they worked for anybody, if they, had any other family members, if you can't prove any of those things, you don't need to talk. If you can't use your DNA to find a surviving relative in Africa or wherever the hell you're from, then why are you mad at the American Indian? Why are you so angry? I'm going to wait for y'all to answer that, because I don't think that you can. Your anger is completely inappropriately placed, and particularly coming from the likes of some of you like Jamie Sandoval. You from New Mexico, kid. Need I say more? You were not in the 13 colonies. You were not in the colonies when it was 14 or 15 of them. And the sad thing is, most of you have all studied so much, so many topics that have nothing to do with you. And this, may be the reason why so many of y'all are oppressed, right? I'm not certain why you feel threatened by us knowing who our ancestors are. And why don't you feel threatened that you cannot name who your folks were? A name. DNA. If you had to establish relation to prove that you were the third cousin of Shaka Zulu or whomever, you motherfuckers couldn't prove it. Could you prove it? I don't think you could. So when you talk about DNA, if it tells you that these Native Americans are from Siberia, where's the American prototype? Where's the DNA for the people of America? So someone comes from everywhere else but here. Some of those things y'all need to examine. Y'all Native Americans, your anger is completely misplaced. It's totally misplaced and very inappropriate. It's completely uncivilized. And this may be the reason why some of y'all had to be civilized. You had to assimilate to something because you don't know how to do business. You don't know how to conduct yourselves civilly, right? Bet it never occurred to any of you guys. But I want to know, why don't any of y'all know the law? Why don't you know what protects you? Why don't you know that your state is your country? You're looking at me like I'm strange, but your state is your country. How come you don't know that a person is a corporation? How come you can't tell the difference between a Native American and an American Indian? Your Pan-Africans, y'all are getting kind of pathetic with the bed winching, just caping and being so disrespectful. And again, you know, the skin folk, you just proof that y'all ain't kinfolk. I wouldn't be related to none of y'all. You guys are completely uncivilized and you're genocidal maniacs. That's what it is. When you insist on telling someone something based off of no facts, zero facts at all, and you insist on going against something, when you make a claim, you have to be able to substantiate that claim. Y'all Native Americans ain't proving nothing. You're certainly not disproving the fact that many of us are absolutely, in fact, Indians. You cannot disprove that because we have the proof. But where is yours? You're only federally recognized, which is federally regulated activities. When my recent ancestors marched for civil rights down in Alabama, and that was for the rights of Indians. Okay? had nothing to do with Native Americans. We are talking about the rights of Indians. I need to know, at what point did you guys come off of the reservation and have a problem finding an apartment? At what point did you guys come off of the reservation and couldn't check into a hotel because you were Indian? Which one of your uncles came from off the reservation to participate in these riots when they were fed up and couldn't take it anymore? You weren't there. Your folks were not there. I don't want to get into the fact of, even so much telling y'all who y'all are, but you're not going to tell me who I'm not. That's a fact. You guys don't even have any documentation. You just kind of appeared after emancipation. You just appeared. Don't think that we don't know about Angel Island. Right, you have Ellis Island where the immigrants came on the east, right, from the East Coast. And you have Angel Island where most of you Asian fuckers came from in the West. If you lived before the Mississippi, don't talk about slavery. Don't talk about anything unless you know what your folks were doing. Because y'all were not in the 13 colonies, and I know for sure you don't know who your folks are because there's so many different intricacies there that are quite obvious as to what happened and who the people are. Okay? I'm going to tell y'all like this. Y'all can crack all the jokes y'all want to. But what I'm going to tell you is, if you can't find where your folks are, if you don't know exactly how many children your 10th great-grandmother had, how many children she lost during childbirth, or who died during childbirth, you need to know all of these things before you can, sit there and attack a genealogist. Okay? Y'all have no idea how disrespectful and genocidal you guys come across. But it's kind of comical because a lot of y'all are just stupid. And you're ignorant. And it shows. And it's, you guys display this envious, nasty little green-eyed monster. Y'all got to stop displaying that. You're all butthurt over who knows who their grandmama is. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out, why are y'all so angry? Also, for you Pan-Africans, you don't know shit about reservations. You don't know shit about America because your ass is studying around Africa. You're not even studying where allegedly your folks are from. Why they ain't come get you in all these goddamn years? And when you going back? When you going back? Tag a relative, tag yourself a cousin, because according to these documents, let me tell you what the difference between these documents and the DNA is. And the difference between the documents, the historical records, and the DNA is, I can call someone out of the phone book right now, a complete stranger, and let them know how they're related to me. DNA can't do that. I can call someone that I have never met and introduce them to their great-great-great-great-great-grandmother 5 times removed through marriage and 2 baby daddies later. That's what the paper trail can do. That's what your DNA can't do. If you had to prove that you were related to, let's say, I'm going to just say Shaka Zulu, could you do it? Could your DNA prove that you were his great-great-great-great-nephew? I don't think it could. I don't think you could. There's no way that you can know who King Tut's grandmother is and not know what your family was growing, who they was working for, what they owned, and what they was doing from 1790 to 1940. If you cannot thoroughly, completely, without skipping a beat, do that with your own tangible bloodline that you can prove, y'all don't have anything to say. Anything. And again, that also proves that you don't know who the hell you are. And it's not important to you because you are trying to take away who other people are. So if you need to do that, what does that say about you? What does that say? Especially for people that don't know who their kinfolk is. Y'all sad. Y'all sad. It's rather pathetic. And I'm going to tell you something else on some real shit. I gave y'all my address. Some of y'all women, y'all were real aggressive. I hope your hands work as fast as they type. Because you don't know what somebody got on their mind or in their pocket. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a wild Indian, okay? You walk over here and you're going to limp back. And that's just it. Understand that. So when y'all do your little threats and stuff like that, you're not kicking my ass. You're not doing it. You couldn't do it. There's nothing you can do to me. Nothing you can do that's going to change the fact that I woke up today. Shada Ahoyo. Nothing's going to change the fact that I'm going to die a Choctaw woman. I know that makes you so, angry and butthurt. But y'all better level up. Because there's so much stuff that y'all don't know. So when you see us post the legal words for a reservation and it shows who the frauds really are, and it blatantly expresses who needs to be governed, because there are individual Indians that decided they wasn't going to let these oppressors move them anywhere. So now, the Trail of Tears, and prove where you were. Can you prove that your family had to walk from Virginia to Arkansas, Oklahoma, or where Jamie's from, New Mexico? New Mexico. Not old Mexico. New Mexico. Y'all need to be able to prove this shit. And as it stands, you clearly can't. So before you try to attack the Indian and talk shit to the Aborigine, y'all might want to have y'all foundation together, because you don't. You are not settled in any place. You're not settled here. You're not comfortable in your own skin. You can't settle in Africa. Where are your people at? Tag your cousin. Why don't you do that? Tag somebody. You should be able to find a relative. Did they completely wipe off every single person? How come? How come it's 2017 and you can't establish who you are so badly that you attack who other people are? That's genocide. That is a war crime. I don't think y'all understand how severe that is. The funny shit is, y'all are no different than the Pilgrims. We invite y'all here in our land, and this is the thanks that we get. Everybody been welcome here. This is the land of good and plenty. We haven't run out of things to give you yet. What do you think you're going to take from the Indians that you haven't already tried to take? I'm going to need y'all to get y'all shit together. Y'all need to brush up. Throw away all that shit y'all heard in school. And get your history together. I know you don't know who your great-great-great-great-grandmother is. It's obvious. Y'all better get y'all shit together. Stop playing. Y'all are really pathetic. And Miss Hernandez, girl, you was typing with marbles in your mouth, girl. I couldn't understand a goddamn thing you was saying. And I fix that, girl. I told you we could have video chat if you was having some issues. Then, we could sign language. I do know American Sign Language. I told you that. But y'all angry birds, y'all, I would say have a good day, but y'all could just go ahead and continue to be angry, because that's what y'all are. Y'all mad. But again, the Indian is here, honey. And they ain't going nowhere. They're not going nowhere.